voice acting, do you just mainly just do just for the role type of thing?
No, I do it for the money, baby.
I feel that. I can understand that.
But don't get me wrong, anime does not pay. Let's go out drinking.
Well, I like that one.
With my relationship with Sakura, and I love signing autographs with Kate Higgins. So she's one of
Okay.
my favorite people on earth. But I do really identify with Granny Tsunade. Neither one of us look like grannies, but and I didn't know, like, I guess Funko Pops came out, and I didn't know that I had a Funko Pop doll. My friend David Lodge, who plays Jiraiya, called me on the phone, and he was just like, you should come out and sign these Funko Pops. And I was like, what? What's that? And I'd already moved to Hawaii, and so yeah, I did not know that I had a fan base. I'll just say that.
Hey, what's up, anime fans? It's your boy, Raysean from the Raysean Gadson Anime Podcast, or RGAP for short. And on today's episode, we're going to be interviewing special guest Debi Mae West from the popular anime Naruto, Sailor Moon, Digimon Data Squad, and Boruto. We're going to be asking her about her experience in the voice acting industry and also about her personal life and how you can get into the industry. But before I introduce my guests, if that has sparked your interest, then sit back and enjoy the ride. And don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're listening.
And what if it does? I am a descendant of first Hokage Hashirama. I don't use wood style, that's true. My medical ninjutsu is pathetic compared to the first Hokage, who didn't need hand signs. And that gift is what my true power is!
Well, Jiraiya, looks like I win our little wager. Enjoy your time on the stump.
What did you say? You annoying little perv!
Okay, that's enough. Before we dive in, I just want to give my guest the opportunity to introduce himself, tell everybody where you're from and what you do, and also tell us your favorite female Naruto character and why.
Hi there, Raysean. I'm Debi Mae West, and I play Lady Tsunade on the Naruto anime series and Shippuden and video games. And I'm currently now only signing autographs at conventions because I'm no longer recording that voice. And I'm in a couple other anime series, but yeah, I've been a voice actor for 35 years. And my favorite female character, I love Sakura, but
Okay.
I really identify with Lady Tsunade. And so I would have to say she's definitely my favorite female character. I don't really watch Naruto, so I'm familiar with my relationship with Sakura, and I love signing autographs with Kate Higgins. So she's one of my favorite people on earth. But I do really identify with Granny Tsunade. Neither one of us look like grannies, but
Okay. I think Granny Tsunade is a great pick. I think as a Hokage, she literally had to go through some of the most treacherous situations and still have to be a leading figure in her village. So I'll give her props. And also Sakura. I know a lot of people give her crap on some situations, but at the end of the day, they were all kids. So I don't know what you expect out of all that. For my favorite female character, I would have to give it to Hinata. I think Hinata is a nice character. I like seeing her growth throughout the whole series and seeing her willing to protect the things she loves versus a lot of people where you're sitting back like, damn, I'm surprised some of Naruto's own friends wouldn't jump in and try to save him, but I like Hinata.
Hinata.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just looking up here like what our connection is. Have a connection. Okay, next question.
Before we jump in and kind of start asking questions and doing our interview, I just kind of wanted to see what have you been listening to or watching lately?
Let's see. Well, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of listening to books. So I just listened to Chelsea Handler's new book, I'll Have What She's Having, about turning 50 years old. I love that book. Any woman that wants to get inspired should listen to I'll Have What She's Having. It's great because she reads it herself, and it's as if she's just talking to you like you're her friend. And I just finished watching a series on Netflix last night called No Good Deed with Lisa Kudrow and Ray Romano, which I really enjoyed. It's kind of a murder mystery about their son, and it's at once very funny, but also dramatic, just because they're both funny actors. And Dennis Leary is also in it. I think it's Dennis Leary. A lot of great actors. Oh gosh, what's his name? His brother. Anyway, it was really a great series. I enjoyed it very much. That's what I'm watching.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So you mainly just been watching a lot of Netflix shows?
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth. Like I try to stay away from the news so much. So once in a while I'll watch Bill Maher or John Oliver Last Week Tonight to kind of catch up on who's doing what right now in our little funny country. And Jimmy Kimmel I'll watch on YouTube, like his opening sometimes. But yeah, I mostly try to I'm watching White Lotus, actually, which I'm so bored with season 3 of White Lotus. I just don't even know what to say.
That's funny. I agree. I watched a little bit of White Lotus. I haven't really gotten into it. I've been kind of switching between a lot of different series and stuff. The only series right now that I've been able to keep up with and been actually watching and really enjoying is Breaking Bad. I'm not sure if you watched that or...
I mean, you went back to like the beginning, the old school Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that show.
I never watched it in the beginning, so when I'm basically getting to watch it, and I'm starting to actually really like Bryan Cranston as an actor.
Oh, he's fantastic. He's so good. Love that guy.
He really surprised me going from a dad from Malcolm in the Middle, and then going to like this like cocaine selling boss is just crazy to me. It's like such range right there.
Yeah.
I've also been watching the series Invincible too. That's sort of kind of like an anime cartoon type of show. It's been pretty good. I like all the life lessons and superpowers and animation in that show.
It's called Invincible.
Invincible. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
Amazing. You gotta check it out.
Okay.
For music wise, like I was saying earlier on a different podcast, I've been listening to a lot more gospel lately, kind of just using it to help me kind of wake up in the morning and really get me moving around and stuff.
That's
at work.
Fun. I love gospel music.
Oh man, it's really good getting back into some of those roots. I don't. I mean, I don't sing professionally or anything, but I mean,
well, you don't have to sing professionally, but do you have a good voice?
Oh, to me, you know, I don't know how other people would judge.
But what about like you go to church and sing with a gospel choir?
I've never sung in the choir, but I sing at my seat. I've never.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of jazz lately, and I went to see a DJ called Poolside on Thursday here on Kauai and danced the night away. It was kind of like disco house music. It was super fun.
Oh, that's pretty fun. Are you on vacation, or is this where you stay in Hawaii, or?
I live here. I'm here full time.
Wow, that is amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I moved to Hawaii during COVID. I've been in LA my whole life, working in voiceover for many, many years. And then during COVID, I came to surf just for a couple of months. And I ended up staying and moving my whole life here, my cat, my dog, and me, and my house. And I left Venice Beach and just kind of retiring slowly here. I'm not retired yet. I'm lying. I'm trying not to retire for another 10 years, but we'll see.
Was it hard to make that type of move? Because I always think about me personally just moving from apartment to apartment, moving from like almost states away and then oceans too. Like that seemed like a whole lot.
I mean, it was. I had to put all my stuff on a boat, but it was kind of funny because I didn't think about it. Like I really jumped in with both feet. And interestingly enough, it's kind of like pertaining to where I'm at in my life right now, which is that, I try to be an inspirational, and I think Tsunade is a very inspirational woman. And so I just live my life in a way where I can be as inspiring as possible to people I'm in contact with or to the fans. And I don't know, I just had I had a vision, and my vision, I just saw the word Kauai in lights, and I thought, I'm gonna go surfing on Kauai. And so I just pulled it together to come here for a trip. I rented my house out, and I also had an Airbnb in LA. Then, so I was, these two girls took care of my kitty, and I brought my dog with me, and I ended up staying for 3 months. And then I don't know, I just, once I got here, I thought, well, this was a pretty strong vibration, like asking me to come be here. And so once I was here, I was in love with it, and I just thought, I'm gonna just look at houses for fun. And I don't know, it was so meant to be. It all lined up. It was so easy in so many ways that it just made so much sense. It was like, it would have been harder to say no than to say yes, I think, because it was just like the universe lined up for me to make this move. And then I ended up selling my house in Venice, and I lived in LA my whole life, and I just was like, I'm older and wiser, I hope, and I should go have a new experience.
Are there really any differences between the atmospheres between California and Hawaii?
Very much so. I mean, It's a lot quieter here. It's pretty chill. Like Oahu is another island here in Hawaii, and that's more like Honolulu, like the tourist capital of Hawaii, is very pumping, and a lot of hotels and resorts and restaurants, and it's bustling with people. I kind of refer to like Honolulu is kind of like Las Vegas by the sea, except there's no gambling. So there's no, but it's high rises and all the most important, like Rodeo Drive, very expensive shopping. And I don't know how people do it. It's just like Tiffany's and Hermes and Gucci. And I mean, it's pretty crazy. And so Kauai is the small, oldest, the garden island. It's very green. There's only 75,000 people that live here. And so it's just really quiet. There's nothing like a city here at all. There's like a small town where the airport is, where Costco is and Home Depot is, and this, like the courts and things like that. But it doesn't feel like a city at all. It feels more like a large town. Well, I don't know. I come from LA, so maybe to some it would feel like a city, but we call it going to town. Like I live way on the north side of the island. And so it's an hour away for me to go to Costco or Home Depot or Walmart or Target. And, that stuff exists an hour away. So I'm just like beaches and hiking. And there's a tiny little shopping center where I live. So, it's surf. It's really surf oriented. It's really water sports oriented where I live, and hiking.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's like the weather's incredible. It rains a lot, although we haven't had a lot of rain this year, but it rains a lot here. And so it's very green, and it's beautiful. I go to LA a lot still, but I don't want to live there.
I can understand that. So just looking at some of the fires that just happened and how busy California can be, it doesn't seem like a place that you probably want to be at right now. I can understand.
No, my friends, several of my friends lost their homes. In fact, this morning I was talking to some girlfriends of mine, and they were actually going up. I'm sweating, it's so hot. They were going up to her house, actually, that her house didn't burn, but all the houses around her burned. And so she's trying to collect some of her stuff and see if it's salvageable because it's, kind of covered in.
So,
yeah. So it was gnarly. I used to work in the Palisades and live in the Palisades. And so, I grew up there. So in LA, I kind of still can't imagine it. They say until you go up there and see what actually happened, the pictures and videos don't really do it justice.
wow. I see. One thing I always imagine, I feel like they didn't really show is the air quality or how bad the smoke was really affecting them. Because I feel like we didn't get a lot of pictures of that. Because I would think it would be hard to see or breathe or anything with all that smoke.
A lot of the chemicals are hidden in the air right now, and a lot of them are in the ocean. Apparently, there's a super bloom right now, a toxic super bloom in the ocean, which is not helping the animals, the whales, the dolphins, the seals. I just heard that this morning, so I have to do a little reading and see what's going on with that.
Wow, me too, because I just heard about that right now.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, diving into our interview, for my first question I want to ask you is, what made you want to get into voice acting, and how did it start?
Well, when I started in the 90s, early 90s, I don't even think I really knew what voice acting was. I grew up in Los Angeles, so I was around Hollywood, and I was interested in performing and acting, and I went to music school. I went to a jazz school. Okay. And, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I had dropped out of college, and I really wanted to sing. I wanted to be a rock star because I felt like I was supposed to perform with my voice, but I didn't know about voiceovers. And I was part of a Buddhist organization, a world peace organization. And when I was in my early 20s, I really wanted to make the world shine bright. And I was in this beautiful, movement and singing in these shows and just really trying to spread love. And I knew a girl through that organization, a woman, actually a friend, and she kind of started talking to me about voiceovers. She did ADR work on movies and television shows. She was like a background voice actor, and she had her own company. And so she just started talking to me about it, and she said, you have a cool voice. And I think Demi Moore was really one of the first actresses to really kind of one of the first known actresses, and she kind of thought I had a cute, scratchy voice like her. And
okay.
Yeah, and so I took. It's funny, Demi Moore's voice has kind of gotten higher as she's gotten older. It's not as low and scratchy as it used to be, which is interesting. But anyway, I was interested because I just, like I said, I liked being on the microphone as a singer. I didn't know if becoming a rock star was going to happen. Music is a very hard field. So is voiceovers, but again, I think it was like moving to Kauai. Like these doors opened for me. There was a path that kind of laid itself out. And even though I didn't know, I just kind of said yes to this learning of what voiceovers is. And so I started taking classes, and I ended up getting an agent and finding someone who really believed in me and thought that I kind of had what it took. And away I went.
Oh, it seems like you've been taking a lot of leaps of faith. What makes you just able to do that?
I don't know. I think ever since I was a young girl, I felt like I believed in an energy, and I believed that I was connected to something, and that, I just really felt always that I was here to make a difference and to be like an inspiration. It's funny. I used to love that word influence, and I was kind of obsessed with the word influence before influencers were a thing. And, before cell phones and before Snapchat and before Instagram and Facebook and all that, there wasn't this whole movement of influencers and getting followers and all that stuff. But I still felt like I had this ability to be an influence in my world, or I knew that we all do, like, because we all influence one another, and it's just a choice. Like, are you influencing positively, or are you, a nasty person and negative, and so all that has an influence. So I don't know. I just feel like whatever kind of makes this world go round, I feel like I have a relationship with spirit, and love intelligence is something that I really believe in. And you might call it God, or, people call it whatever they need. But for me, the closest thing to my heart is, like, I think that there is an intelligence in that. Love has an intelligence, and it's a vibration. And so I've always been trying to vibrate love.
Okay.
So nice things happen for me, and I think that's what. That's
sort of kind of like leading by example type of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I try to lead by example now, but I mean, back then when I was younger, I don't know, I just felt like I was always in the flow, and I just, like things came to me, and I kind of have a charmed life, I guess. And I do good. I really do. I really try to be helpful to others and be of service if I can.
But my next question I want to ask you is, you voiced Tsunade in Naruto, a huge character. Did you know she would be as important as she was when you went out for the role? And is there any scenes or lines that stick with you?
Let's go out drinking.
Well, I like that one.
There's more, but that's one that makes me laugh. First of all, I don't remember auditioning for Naruto. It was a very, very long time ago. But the Jamie Simone, who was casting Naruto and owned the studio where we recorded all the episodes, I kind of think he sort of saw me for the role. I think this is what I think. I don't know. I was thinking about him, and I might ask him sometime, because I haven't spoken to him in a while. And I think, he gave me an opportunity. I don't think I got it through an agent. In fact, I know I didn't. I think that Jamie just said, I think you'd be great for this role. Could you come in and read for me? So I was kind of handpicked. I was not given the role. I definitely had to read. We all do. I had to audition. But anime was not this marketing, world-renowned, a thing that it is now. And the conventions were not surrounding, like, there were video game conventions, maybe, but not anime. And so none of us knew that this was going to become this franchise and this humongous, 700 plus episode series that was going to lead to the careers of all these people that have stayed in the anime industry, and just really having the impact. I mean, Naruto's really had an impact on a lot of people's lives. I know there's so many shows, and I know there's, maybe Naruto's not the most popular anymore, but it was for sure. And it definitely is one of the first ones that had a huge influence and an impact on people. And but I had no idea. Like I recorded that show for many, 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 many years, and it was super fun. And it was, and doing anime overdub is challenging. It's a fun voiceover job, but I was doing all kinds of other voiceovers, and I didn't know, like, I guess Funko Pops came out, and I didn't know that I had a Funko Pop doll. My friend David Lodge, who plays Jiraiya, called me on the phone, and he was just like, you should come out and sign these Funko Pops. And I was like, what's that? And I'd already moved to Hawaii. And so, I did not know that I had a fan base. I'll just say that. Had no idea.
Wow, that's so interesting. So, like, were you just not like aware, or did you just like when you do voice acting, do you just mainly just do just for the role type of thing?
No, I do it for the money, baby.
I feel that. I can understand that.
But don't get me wrong, anime does not pay a lot of money. So I wasn't doing anime for the money. I was doing Naruto because I absolutely loved playing Lady Tsunade. And I love the studio. And, the thing is, like, voiceover is a really fun way to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
It is not an easy way to make a living. And right now, by far, it is less easy than it ever was. I mean, when I started, there were, I don't know, 5,000 to 10,000 people maybe doing it. And now there's hundreds of thousands of people that believe they're going to have a career in voiceovers. And, I'm not as positive as some of the other voice actors that are out there, like teaching at the conventions and coaching. And, I've always been just like, why are you giving my job away?
I feel that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I came from. I'm trying to curb that a little bit and be more positive and but I never really understood. It's like, I used to go on auditions and it would be like me and maybe 20 people or 30 people would read for a role. And now there are auditions where I'm reading against hundreds of people. And it's like Lady Tsunade throwing the dice. It's just like, to book a job is very hard. And it's not.
Has that been ever since the pandemic?
No, even before that.
Okay.
But since the pandemic, even more for sure. But just people feeling like, oh my God, I want to do voiceovers. Like all these people who aren't even actors who just like think they have a good voice, and and now you can make a home studio so easily, and there's all these websites you can join. And but I'm a real voiceover actor. That's been my career for 35 years, and I'm very, very proud of my work, and I'm also in awe of the people that paved the way for me and the people that still are just like the top of their field, like the animation people, the animation voice actors who've been doing this for 40 years are, that are still doing it. They're incredible. And, it's been an interesting thing for me to watch. But
so you just like when people respect the craft, basically.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And, but, back to your question was that, I definitely did it because as I started making a living, I made a very good living. And just the type of person that I am, I never was good in an office job. I never, I worked at lots of restaurants, but I wasn't going to live my life as a waitress. I mean, I could have. I actually like waiting tables. But, I just, once I started doing it, I really thought it was what I was supposed to do, because I always thought I was supposed to be a rock star. And I felt like I had that kind of X factor where, like I just feel like I have a good vibration. And so I just, when it started rolling for me, I was just like, this is what I'm going to do. I've worked really hard. Actually.
I kind of wanted to rephrase that, what I was asking you earlier, because I know a lot of older Naruto voice actors basically told me during the pandemic, that's when they started doing more cons and stuff and realizing how popular their characters was. And I think that was Shikamaru that told me that. So I was wondering if that was just something like when you were back in the day, you were just spending more time just doing the work. And then now you're taking more of the time to like, okay, so this is basically what people have seen my work throughout the years and stuff like that. Basically taking in your flowers.
I think what happened was David Lodge started doing cons, and because our characters are very intermingled, and Tsunade and Jiraiya have a love affair like no other, and we're the two of three Sanin, and and we're friends, and so I think he just saw an opportunity for me, and he knew I wasn't taking it, and so he just kindly called me on the phone and said, I don't know if you know this, but you could go and meet your fans. And I was reluctant. I live on an island. It's not easy for me to get out of here and get to the mainland and go to these things. But, like I said, I think things have slowed down because there's so much competition now. I still audition every day, all day. I read anything from, anywhere from 3 to 10 auditions a day or more.
Okay.
But again, the competition is so high that it's not like it used to be at all. And so it's not like it used to be. So I just thought, well, if I can, I don't know, once I tried it, once I went to a couple conventions, and I really enjoyed connecting with people that were in love with Lady Tsunade. The people I meet, they're so thrilled to meet me. They make me feel like a movie star, but I'm not like that. So I make them feel like a movie star back. And so I have this whole experience with fans that isn't similar to everybody else. Like, I've had some really people reach out and just say, you treated me like such a friend and a person. And I've made friends actually with people that I've stayed in touch with. And I just, I really try to give people an experience. If you're going to pay me for an autograph, you're going to get the Debi Mae West experience all the way.
That's amazing. Because a lot of times, a lot of people, that'd be their first experience at a con. So being able to have a nice experience that first time is very genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want it to be genuine because, there's people there that have like a 5-hour line and they just don't have time to really give themselves. But I do. I might have a nice little line and, but I'm definitely just more in the flow, and I don't have like 50 characters like some of these people. I have a few anime characters and some iconic video game characters. And so, people come and meet me for that, and we have a great time. It's super fun.
But my next question I want to ask you, what's the hardest emotion for you to act out?
Probably anger, because I don't have a problem getting there, but I have a very tender voice. And so screaming, I should say, this isn't an emotion, but anything that makes me have to yell, my voice breaks and cracks. And so that's really hard for me, because a lot of these gals that are, especially in anime, they have these like super high, like I can't even do it today because we've had a volcano eruption going on the big island. And so my air quality right now is terrible. So I'm hoarse. I'm a little hoarse. So I normally could probably imitate someone's super high, clean voice, but today I cannot. So, but to sustain that, I just don't have that ability. I've got like rasp. I got, crazy voice. And so that is always hard for me. And it causes me to be a little insecure about certain jobs or auditions, because in animation, especially animation games, you really have to have a range. And I have a big range in terms of the type of voiceover jobs that I can do. I do announcer, I do promo, I do trailer, I do commercial. I can do corporate stuff. I can do live announce. I can do all that stuff. But when it comes to character voices, I mean, that's harder for me because of my scratchy voice. So, but I can do boys' voices, and because of that, but yeah, so I don't know what emotion is harder. I would just say like the upper register in my voice, the screaming area is harder for me.
Okay. I've had a lot of different answers for this question, from like crying, from sadness, and laughing. So
yeah,
it's just
laughing
a different.
is really hard because people have their laughs, and to come up with different laughs. I remember when I was taking an animation class years ago, they're like, that's one of the first things that you have to really figure out is how many laughs do you have? And it's hard to giggle unless something's funny.
See, that's not even something that I thought about. Like, but I guess you would kind of have to make a kind of a distinctive laugh for almost all the characters that you play, because they all laugh differently.
Yeah.
For my next question, I want to ask you: what's a common myth about voice acting that isn't true?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know any myths about voice acting. What's a myth that you know of?
That is easy.
Well,
that
yeah,
anybody can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. That's the myth. Voice acting is, it's not rocket science.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to know math, but you do have to know timing. You have to feel what 0.5 seconds feels like, but it's you have to be in touch with yourself in a very specific way if you're going to book jobs. Like, you might get lucky because like you have some deep, gorgeous, booming voice of God, cool, whatever, raspy voice. Like, I have a cool voice, but if I wasn't a good actor, then I would not have the career that I have. And I don't even think I'm a great actor. Like, I bow down to the great actors. I'm a really good actor. I'm very in touch with my feelings. I can cry. I can be like, I can do all kinds of things, but I never take myself like that seriously. And I would never I'm not one of those people that burns to be an actor. I burn to do voiceovers. I love doing voiceovers so much. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's the myth, that it's easy and, that anyone can do it. Not true.
For my next question, if your voice had a superpower, what would it be?
I mean, my superpower is love, and I just love. And so if my voice had a superpower, it would just be, like the energy of love.
Okay. My next question, I think that's an interesting ability to be able to spread love and stuff, because that's something we really need out here, especially with all the stuff going on with the world and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get political, but sometimes you just got to be like, it's a lot.
Down right now.
It's a lot of crazy stuff going on. But my next question I want to ask you is, how do you feel about AI? Do you think it's possible for it to be able to integrate with voice acting, and be able to work together? Or do you think it should just not be integrated at all?
Well, let me just tell you, I have fallen in love with ChatGPT.
Okay.
But only to get me thinking about things from a different perspective that I might not have thought of. So I'm using it for marketing right now. I'm using it for kind of ideas. Like me and ChatGPT have come up with some ideas. I want to start doing a new series, possibly a podcast, and I'll see what you think about this. But life lessons with Lady Tsunade, or wisdom and whiskey with Lady Tsunade, like a little series where people could ask me a question, or I would just say something profound or something funny just to get you through the day, kind of a thing. And that's an AI generated idea. Now, AI is going to take away many of our jobs, not just voiceover people, but my friends who are, in the field of medicine, so many people are going to lose their jobs. The one thing that is not cool is that we are sort of behind. AI came without us really understanding what was going to happen with our voices if someone stole our voice and put it into AI learning and turned it into an AI generated, mirror of a voice. So I don't even think we still understand that. And I know that, but like e-learning is going to go away for voiceover, for real voices. A lot of stuff's going to go away. I also believe that it's going to be like the record. Like the record went away and CDs emerged. MP3s then came, and people, like, there are purists out there that love records. I've got a huge record collection. I love the sound of a record with a needle on it way more than I like, anything else. So I think that maybe we're going to go through a period where people are just going to use AI. They're going to figure it out. But there's no heart in an AI voice.
True.
That superpower of love does not come through in an AI voice. I don't care what anyone says. I can hear it. It doesn't matter how good it is. I know when it's AI. That might change really soon because it's,
always evolving.
Yeah. But, so can we work together? There's no choice. Like, it's here and it's not going away.
That's true. See, when I think about like integrations, I always think of like some like little parts in anime, like maybe like Walla or stuff like that, where you can kind of have the AI kind of come in. Because I agree with you. It's hard to have AI really give out that emotion that a lot of good voice actors can do. You know what I mean? And
yeah, like Walla, they probably are doing that. And that's actually, I hadn't even thought about that, but that's probably happening because you don't really hear the nuance of the Walla voice. You just hear something in the background that's really quite a mumble. And so, if they probably could do that.
See, that's the things I've been thinking about if they did to use it, because I was like, that could help with a little bit in the cost saving measures that they're trying to do, which is kind of crazy because they make millions of dollars on these projects and they rarely even give y'all anything close to that. So it's like, what cost measures are y'all really trying to save? So
it's true. I think it's just, when people find something new to play with, a new toy, it's fun to use the toy. True. So AI is the newest toy. I'm just learning how to work with ChatGPT because there are definitely specific ways to ask it questions and prompt it to give you answers. But I'm just happy that I'm at the last part of my career and not the first part of my career. So I've had 35 years of this, and I'm an older woman now, so I'm not trying to keep it going. I just, I'd like to keep working. There's a few things I haven't done yet that I'd like to do, but I'm not so worried about it.
What keeps you coming back to voice acting?
What do you mean?
Like, what keeps making you want to do it, get up and get the motivation to keep doing roles, even though rejection is still high and the competition is still hard? You know what I mean? Like, what makes you keep wanting to go out and act?
Well, I love being in my studio. I love being on the microphone. I love the challenge of the audition. Sometimes there's so many of them and it's just like, oh God, okay, here we go. Cause you just know you're not going to get it. And cause a lot of it is like throwing mashed potatoes at the wall. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, do I really still sound 30? Maybe on certain days. I don't sound 20, and sometimes I'm getting thrown these 20-year-old auditions, and it's just like, I'm not going to get it. So it feels like a waste of time to me. So sometimes I'll pass. But I was the voice of the Olympics last year. For me, yeah, you didn't know that? Did you not go to my website? You don't even know. Yeah. I was the voice of the Paris Olympics, and I also did announcing for the Beijing Olympics, and I do a lot of stuff for NBC Sports, and that makes me tick. I will get up every day knowing that I still have this opportunity that I might get to do that again. And so it's worth it for me. And it's not, I still have a great day. I have a lot of time on my hands and I can do other things, and I go surfing in the mornings, and, I have a really nice life, but I still love it. And I'm just not done yet.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I did not know that you were the voice or the announcer in the Olympics. That's pretty cool. Like, what sports have you announced over, or are you just like
Well,
in
I'm not a
between?
commentator, so I do promos and I do announcing. So a commentator would be someone watching the game and letting you know what's happening with the game, and I do a promo telling you, like, next week on NBC, figure skating is coming, or golf, or like I do Golf Channel, and I do skiing and figure skating, and different sports where I just kind of tell you about the programming. And then for the Olympics, I was the voice of the promos and the voice of the game. So like in the ad sales, when they show you the rings going to commercial, I tell you who's the sponsor of the show. So it was kind of like all day, every day for, when you're watching the Olympics, you could hear my voice. It was awesome.
Wow, that's pretty dope. Did you actually get to go to the Olympics and stuff like that?
Yeah, I recorded it from here in Kauai.
Oh man, that would have been really cool if you got to go to Rio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, Hawaii's still nice too to be able to do that from your
It sure was.
Do you have your own studio, or like?
Yeah, I have a little studio that I built here. I had an extra walk-in closet, so I turned it into a studio. And these days it doesn't take much. You just need really good dead sound, and I have that in there. And I've got a good microphone. I mean, there are people that I see, comrades, and they just have these like full-on setups with big television screens, and I just don't. I'm very simple these days, so I just have a simple, very good sounding studio, and I'm just doing my thing.
Okay. Well, we winding down to our last two questions. For my next question, I want to ask you is: out of all your performances so far, which one would you consider your best?
I mean, I feel like being the voice of the Olympics last year was like the pinnacle of my career. Like, I really felt like my work really paid off. It was my dream. Like I knew for 10 years that was my goal, that was my dream, and that's what I wanted to do. And when it happened, I gave every drop of my blood to sound amazing and to, like, give the people that hired me, everything I had. And so that, in terms of that kind of work, I would say that was my favorite voiceover job of all time. But I'm very, very proud of my work in Naruto and Metal Gear Solid. I really love my character Meryl in Metal Gear. And I also, I don't know, I used to be on a show called Max Steel, and that was really fun. I've had some really fun roles, but I think my favorite was definitely the Olympics.
Okay, that's a whole something different, like than doing like voice acting. That's just a whole different thing within itself. And a lot of times I like to tell people, like, if you want to get into the voice acting field, you need to explore all the different things you can do with voice acting, because it's not just anime. You can also get into commercials and announcing and stuff like that. So I want people to explore more into that. And for my last question is, earlier you were talking about there's still other things that you want to do in voice acting. What are some of those things you still aspire and still want to do?
I don't know, my dream when I was a kid was, like, I always wanted to be in a Disney animated movie. I love Disney, everything. And so I'm kind of sad that I'm not in LA for that reason, like, because you really kind of have to be in the market. Like, I would say, like, the not anime. Like anime is kind of all over the place now, and in Texas I hear, and there's a lot of places, but I think the real animation work is in Los Angeles. And so I don't know how that would happen. I don't, maybe it'll be one of those things where it'll come to me like my home in Kauai, or like, just getting to do voiceovers in the first place. But that's a dream. I definitely want to be the voice of the Olympics in Los Angeles, because I'm from Los Angeles and I am an LA girl through and through, and I would be so proud to have my voice in the games of Los Angeles. So I really hope they keep me through Milan Cortina next year, and then on to LA Summer Games in 3.5 years. That would be amazing. I think I would just like to have a network. I've done so much cable promo, like thousands and thousands and thousands, and I've been the voice of amazing stuff and amazing networks, and but I've never been like on ABC or CBS all day, every day. Like, those are nice. I love doing promos. That's my favorite. So I'd like to get one more juicy promo gig, or like the voice of a news, like, because I have a nice big voice. So I like to do like the news. I'd love to have a network news, CNN or something like that.
Okay.
And that's it.
I like some cool goals and aspiring things to work
I would like
up
to get an anime gig. I was thinking about that today, actually, that I might do a little bit of networking. And I guess sometimes I wonder, like, I have, as these iconic characters, I would think that some people would come looking for me. And so maybe my presence on the interweb could be a little bit better, so that, maybe there's somebody out there that's like, man, I just love that Lady Tsunade voice. I want to use her for something, or that Meryl Silverburgh voice. And that would be fun too, to have someone find me because they like those characters of mine.
For sure. And that's one thing about trying to like grow your internet presence, so people can like know that you're out there and stuff like that. But also, it's like you also want people to recognize the work that you already done and kind of give you work based on that and stuff like that, kind of getting that recognition. I can understand that too.
It's funny, after I did the Olympics, my friends here were just like, oh my gosh, your resume is like amazing now. You're going to get so much work. And I said, it just doesn't work that way. Like, voiceovers is basically you're as good as the audition you do today. It really has not much to do with what you read yesterday. It's what did you read on today, and who heard it, and did they pick your voice?
True.
So,
well, it gives it a little bit more of an even playing field, because a lot of people think it's a lot more about networking. So,
I think like maybe anime it is, and there is a lot of networking, but I don't know, like this like voiceover Atlanta thing just happened. I don't really know what people get out of it. I'm not connected with anyone that goes. And so my agent went, actually, and my agent made a great connection for someone who could give me jobs, which I'm super happy about. But to go there as a voiceover actor, thinking that you're going to meet the right person, maybe it happens. I don't know. I don't really know.
Well, that basically wraps up our interview. Do you have a question for me, or maybe for another voice actor that may come on?
Well, I'm just curious to know what your, why you started this podcast, and what your intention is with your podcast.
Okay. Well, the main reason I created this podcast was kind of to get out of my introverted mindset and kind of experience the world a little bit more and kind of make more connections, because I was kind of getting to a point where I was kind of staying more to myself and not really going out, and I kind of just wanted to just kind of get out of that funk and kind of meet more people. And the interesting thing is this happened all kind of during the pandemic, and I kind of just wanted to meet more people and talk about anime, because I kind of got to the point where a lot of people around me were kind of tired of hearing me talk about anime all the time. So I was like, well, if you guys are tired of hearing me talk about it, well, I'll find some people who want to hear me talk about it. So that basically started with that, and then just kind of just continuing with it, even through the slow growth and to the point where we at now.
And did you watch the whole Naruto series?
Yes, I've probably watched it a few times.
Wow. Did you like Lady Tsunade?
Yes, I am a huge fan of Lady Tsunade. I actually put her as one of the few that had it the hardest, because I always say that I feel like during her reign as like the top, she had to go through a lot of stuff that a lot of other Hokages didn't have to do, and she handled it pretty well. So I liked that.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It was really nice talking to you. And with that,
posting this, and I can share it on my Instagram.
I should be having it out within like a month to a month and a half.
I'll have Jay get in touch with me about it so that I can let my fans know that they can watch it.
For sure. And with that, we end today's episode. I want to thank my guests for coming on and chatting it up with me. I had a lot of fun and learned so much more about the industry of voice acting, and hopefully you listeners did too. Before we close out, I just want to allow my guest the opportunity to plug herself, basically tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh gosh, I'll be in Indiana next in early June, and then I'll be in San Antonio, I think in August, and hopefully San Francisco at the end of May, if that comes through. And if you live in California, I'm going to be the voice of the new Mega Millions California lottery spots, that campaign. And, you'll hear me. I'm around.
Okay. Do you got a Twitter or Instagram you want to shout out real quick?
Yeah, my Instagram is Debi Mae West, DebiMaeWest. And that's mainly what I use to share info. And like I said, I'm going to start a new series of like life lessons with Lady, or the Hokage Hotline is one of the other ones it might be. Just that's little, talking to the fans once in a while, see how everybody is.
Okay. I'll have all her links and everything posted below. So if you guys want to reach out and ask her anything, you guys know how to reach her. And with that, I want to say, peace.
Over and out.